Okay, so did you people have any doubts in the previous topic that we had discussed? Any doubts, anything that you wanted to ask me?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, everyone switch on your videos. Come on quickly. All those that like who haven't switched on the video, please switch on your videos. All right, students. So let's just quickly revise what we have studied about the various kinds of tissues. Now, Anam, please switch on your video. I think everyone has switched on the video except for you. Switch on your video. Am I audible, Anam? Okay. All right. So let us quickly revise as to what we would have discussed in the previous class. So we were particularly doing the plant tissues. Now, plant tissues are of two types. We remember that they are meristematic and permanent. And this division of the plant tissues, it is on the basis of the ability of division. Now, the meristematic tissue, furthermore, they are of three types: apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. And what is the basis of this division, students? Like, how do we divide meristematic tissue? On the basis of
Position.
position. Very good. So we divide them on the basis of their position. All right. So when we divide them on the basis of their position, so we have apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. Then today's topic of discussion would be the permanent tissue. Now, permanent tissue are those tissues that have lost the ability to divide, meaning they cannot divide anymore. So, permanent tissues further are of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now, see, this division of permanent tissue is on the basis of what these further tissues are made up of. Like, what are the components? For example, if we talk about the simple permanent, what do you understand by simple? Meaning it has a very basic kind of organization present in it, right? So simple permanent tissues are those kind of tissues that are made up of just one type of cells. Only one kind of cells are found in these kind of tissues. And can someone tell me how am I saying this particular thing that only one kind of cell is found in these kind of tissues? Like,
because
what
they
does that? Yes.
because they cannot divide.
Yeah, because we know that a group of tissues, they make up the, sorry, a group of cells, they make up the tissues, right, students? Now, so simple permanent tissues are those tissues that you can say they are made up of just one type of cell. Whereas complex permanent tissues, they are made up of more than one type of cells. Like they have variety of different kinds of cells present in them. Now, the simple permanent tissues are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues, they are further of two types: xylem and phloem. Do you people know xylem and phloem, what they are known as collectively? Does anyone have any idea about that? Xylem and phloem, they are collectively known as, yes. Anyone? What, like, depending upon their function, does anyone have their idea, have the idea about what xylem and phloem is, depending on their functions?
The transport things.
Exactly. Yes, Hanan, what are you saying?
The phloem stores or transports water.
Yes, Saad and Hanan, both of you are correct. Both of these tissues that are complex permanent tissues, xylem and phloem, they are actually responsible for the transportation process. And xylem is responsible for the transportation of water, whereas phloem is responsible for the transportation of food. Okay, so they together or collectively, they are known as the conducting tissues because they are either way conducting something, whether they are conducting water or whether they are conducting food. Clear to everyone? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
the simple permanent tissues, these are further of three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now, each of those have their own variety of functions to perform. Now, we talk about the characteristics of meristematic tissue. So, okay, have you people been studying the chapter, the topics that are being taught in the class? Have you people been studying?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Okay. So, one by one, you people only tell me the characteristics of meristematic tissue. Anyone can start. Whoever remembers can start. Any quality, like it doesn't have to be exactly what I've made you write. You can use your own words, but just tell me what are the characteristics. The first characteristic. What would you say it is?
Can I?
Sure.
Ma'am, meristematic cells have dense and abundant cytoplasm.
Okay. Yes, Sarah, you were raising your hand. Say.
And the cells of the meristematic tissues are thin.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
And the cells of the meristematic tissues are thin.
They are
Thin.
thin.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. What else? Are the meristematic tissues dead or they are living tissues?
And living tissues.
Okay. What else? What else? Oh. What are they made up of? Meristematic tissues are made up of
Cellulose.
Cellulose.
cellulose. Very good. And do you think meristematic tissues will be present in animals?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And can someone tell me about what kind of, like, are they, like, do they perform the cell division or do they not perform the cell division?
They do not.
They do.
They
Okay.
actively perform the cellulose.
Very good. Exactly. They actively perform the cell division. Okay. Now, in general, what is the function of meristematic tissue? You don't have to be specific, just in general.
Growth.
What is the basic?
Growth.
Exactly. Growth. Now, whether this growth is in the terms of length or whether this growth is in the terms of breadth. Now, which tissue grows the plant in terms of its breadth? Arhan, you don't answer. Anyone else? Anam, would you like to try?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
The question is, which of the following meristematic tissue helps the plant to grow in terms of breadth or girth or thickness? Yes, Bharti?
The lateral meristem.
The lateral meristem. Okay. Can someone tell me what is the position of lateral meristem? Saad, can you tell me the position of lateral meristem? Yes. Say lateral. I remember I told you about the positions. So lateral position. Which position is it? If you don't know, it's okay. You can say, ma'am, I don't remember. It's fine. Hanan, can you tell me what is lateral position?
The stems and the roots.
No. The lateral meristem, they are present at lateral position. So what is the lateral position? Arham, are you driving?
Just 1 minute.
Are you driving?
Yes, I was just parking the car.
Please
My
don't
mom
use
went
your
inside
phone
the
while
car.
you drive. Please don't use your phone.
No, I'm just in the parking lot. I'm just parking the car.
Okay, yes. Yes, Hanan, tell me.
I'm not sure.
Okay, see, remember these things. See, it's like here on your screen also, students. You could have just seen on your screen also. See, the position in the biology. You will find these positions like whenever in biology we name anything depending on the position, right? So we name it on basis of this. See, whenever if I say dorsal, anything is dorsal. For example, this is my hand. This is the dorsal position, which is the back side of my hand. And then this is the ventral position, which is the front side of my hand. So dorsal is back, ventral is front. And then apical is the tip or the apex part, and lateral, the thing that I'm asking you people, is the side position. And you people drew the diagram also. Arham, please reach home and please then you switch on your video. You are scaring me.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not
Please
driving.
don't do this again, please. Driving
Yes,
and
yes.
using your phone and that too doing class, please don't do it again. And you are in class 9th and you're driving?
No,
How is that even
I
possible?
don't have a license. I'm just parking the car. My mom did find the parking and she had to go inside in a hurry.
Okay, please don't do that again though. Okay. All right. So yeah. So remember this particular diagram, students. Many a times this diagram will be asked in the questions. Okay. And you'd have to draw this diagram. Now see, we divide the meristematic tissue on the basis of their positions. Now, do you see where it is labeled as apical meristem? Everyone can see? Now, do you see that it is the tip portion, the yellow portion here? Right? So apical, apex. Apex means the tip position. Then there is intercalary meristem. Now, intercalary meristem is present at the internode. Now, who can tell me what is internode?
Between two
Okay.
notes.
The position between two nodes. What is nodes? You don't say anything now. What is nodes? Nodes? Tell me. Whoever knows can say. What is the meaning of nodes? I mean, not meaning, but what do the nodes do?
At the point where leaves
Please speak a little louder. I don't understand. Like, am I going deaf or you people are speaking really low today? Is it my age? Am I going deaf? Yes, tell me. What was your answer? You are on mute, Sad.
and at the
Yes.
point where leaves arrive.
Huh? I still can't hear you. See, okay, wait.
Like
I'll
I
only
send a
tell.
message. I'm gonna send a message.
Nodes are those positions from which the branches or the stems, they arise, right? And the position in between the two nodes are considered as the internodal position. Now, intercalary meristem is present at the internodes. Now, the lateral. Do you see they have like put these weird arrow-like structures, or they are showing the side position. So this lateral meristem is present on the sideways. The word lateral only means side. So are all the meristematic tissues clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anyone to which this is not clear? Because like it's no point going forward with the chapter if you people are not understanding, if you people are not able to answer. So you tell me if there is anyone. You don't have to feel shameful for that. You can tell me, I'll explain it again. Anyone who did not understand anything, you can ask, because I want your doubts to be clear, students, because in the test, in the exams, in your school and everywhere, you'll be asked such intricate questions and then you will get stuck if your basics are not clear. So this is to everyone. And how many of you, like, be honest, how many of you feel shy to speak in the class? Like, it happens. How many of you are shy to speak in the class? Like, you know the answer, but you can't speak because you're too shy. How many of you are like that? Okay, I see one hand. Okay, who else? No one else, only one person. Okay, see students. There are many reasons for which I ask you to turn on your videos. Now see, when you switch on your videos, you are vulnerable, isn't it? You feel like, okay, the teacher is watching me now, right? You feel like that, right? That is the whole purpose of it. I make you switch on your video so that I can see you. I can see what your people are doing. Now see, I saw Arham driving. I got scared so much. Anyway, you people listen very carefully. Like, you don't have to be shy here. All of you are here to learn, right? None of you are teachers, right? The only teacher over here is me, okay? And I'm not shy. So you don't have to be shy to me at any point. Even like I am giving you full liberty to speak your minds. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to be hesitant. Anything, even if it is a very bad doubt also. Like even if I said that lateral position is the side position and you still have a doubt on that, you can ask me. Getting? Everyone's getting this? So you don't have to be very serious in the class. You don't have to be like, I am going to punish you at every step of the way. You can be free with me. Okay. All right. So everyone has understood the meristematic tissues? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. Okay. Now let us quickly see the functions. See, look, in terms of location, you people already know. Now the function. If we are talking about the apical meristem, so we know that they are present at the apex position. Now apex of what? So apex of root and apex of shoot. So wherever apical meristem will be there, they will be constantly dividing. So if we are talking about, like, this is the level of the ground and these are the roots and this is the stem. Now, as I told you, the apical meristem is present in the stem also, and it is present in the root also. Now, if in terms of root, where will it make the roots grow? Towards the ground or above from the ground?
Towards the ground.
Towards it. Okay, but like this was a very obvious question. Then also, why did I not get the answers? Like you people are like, why? Everyone should answer. It is good when the class is chaotic. Even if it is a basic question, you answer it. That builds up a habit. Do you people have vivas in your school? Do you have vivas in your practical examination or tests? Do you have vivas, like oral tests in your school?
Yes, ma'am.
Or some of you have, some of you don't, right? So see, just imagine like you come here, you like join the Zoom meeting, and imagine like I am preparing you for your oral test of vivas and everything. Okay. So a very obvious question I asked, like where would the roots grow? So we know that they will grow downwards, but in terms of length, like they'll keep on growing downwards and downwards. And same goes for the stem, it will grow upwards. So it enables the root and the stem to grow by increasing the length. Then talking about the intercalary meristem. So these cells are very active and they continuously form several new cells and increase the length of the plant. Okay. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone who needs a proper
Yes.
discussion on this? Some students are not even nodding. Say yes or no at least. Okay, wait. Hanan and Anam, why are you people so serious in the class? Why are you also serious in the class? I've seen that many of the students have warmed up to me. You people have not yet warmed up to me. Why? Tell me. Say something. Say something.
I did not, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the lateral meristem. Now we know the position is sideways, and now remember, out of all the meristematic tissue, lateral meristem is the only meristem that is responsible for the growth of the plant in terms of thickness. Now the word thickness, the word girth, and the word diameter, all of them mean the same thing. It means increase in the plant's stem like this. The apical and the intercalary meristem is responsible for the increase like this, but the lateral meristem is responsible for the increase like this. Clear to everyone?
Yes.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
All right, very good. So for today's topic, we have the permanent tissues, right? So we're going to start with the permanent tissues. Is there any color preference? Is there any color preference? Which colored ink should I use today?
Blue.
I'm red.
Red. Fine with everyone? See, you people, which class do you people belong to? Like, in which class you are?
9.
Tell me. You people are in class 9. All of you are in class 9? I hope none of you are in class 12, right? Sure? Then why do you people act like you belong to class 12? So serious, so like gloomy all the time. You know, I did the same trick with my class 12 students. 12, imagine the senior most class. And they were like, no, ma'am, choose pink. No, ma'am, choose blue. And here I'm asking you people, you're like, whatever you want, ma'am, you can choose whatever color you want. All right, so I'll choose red only. If it looks obnoxious, you can tell me that also. All right, so we'll start today with the permanent tissues. Now remember, permanent tissues, originally they were meristematic tissues only. Okay, in the beginning, in the initial stages of their life, they were like meristematic tissues. But see, what happens in the case of plants, there are some tissues that keep on dividing for the rest of their life. But then again, there are some tissues that divide for a certain period of time, and then their division or the ability to divide diminishes. It stops. So those kind of tissues, they get, you can say, modified. They get modified and they become permanent. So now they do not have any function to perform in terms of increase in the length or in terms of increase in the girth or anything. Now their function is to perform like storage function, or they can perform structural support, like they can give support to the plant, because the plant, since it has to stay in one place for the rest of its life, because the plants cannot move, so they need a lot of support tissues or supporting tissues in them so that they can actually stand for a long period of time. So the permanent tissues, they originate from the meristematic tissue. So don't think that they are separate different kinds of tissues. No, they were initially the meristematic tissue only. Now, then they stopped they lost the property of division and they became permanent. Now, these permanent tissues, they are actually like the different types that are present, they are formed by the differentiation of the meristematic tissue only. Okay. And then we talk about what is the property of these meristematic tissues. So they do not divide. The first and the most important, just like if anyone were to ask you the difference between a permanent tissue and the meristematic tissue, the first thing that should come to your mind is the division aspect. The meristematic tissue, they divide and they divide a lot. But the permanent tissues, they do not divide at all. This is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now they have a permanent shape. They have a fixed shape and size. Their size and shapes do not vary. They have a permanent fixed shape and size. Apart from that, they mostly are dead tissues, but some living tissues are also formed in them, like found in them. And then remember that since they do not have the property to grow. So do you remember that meristematic tissues, they do not have a lot of vacuoles. Like they do not have large vacuoles because they do not need to store anything. They need to keep on dividing. But contrary to that, just the opposite, the permanent tissues, they have vacuoles present because they have the purpose to store and everything. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Okay. So let us see some points about the permanent tissues. So the first point that I said, that these tissues originate from the meristematic tissue. This point is clear to everyone? All right, very good. After that, the next point is that the different types of permanent tissue, the different types of permanent tissues are formed from the differentiation of the meristematic tissue. So these 2 points are clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No one has any doubts? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Very good. Now, talking about what is cell differentiation, like we have mentioned the word differentiation, so we should know what differentiation means. So we'll write one note about cell differentiation also, so that you people don't get confused further on. Now, cell differentiation, it is the process, of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function. So now what do we understand by this? Like initially these tissues, they were actually dividing. They like kept on dividing, but now after the process of cell differentiation has been done, what they do, they take a permanent shape. They like their shape, size, and function get fixed. Now they get assigned what they are to do for the rest of the plant's life. Clear? Cell differentiation is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Now the next thing are the characteristics. Just like how we studied the characteristics of the meristematic tissue, same way we'll study the characteristics of permanent tissue. Students, how many chapters do you people have in biology in total? Like one person tell me, and rest of you just make like assure me that okay, this is same for all of you. Anyone can say.
6.
6 chapters. Like that, those chapters are there for your syllabus, or like they're just there in the book, but in the syllabus you just have less chapters of that.
And for the syllabus, I don't know.
For the syllabus you have?
I don't have any idea.
Okay, you don't have any idea. Anyone who has an idea, please tell me. I think as far as I know, you people just have 3 chapters. One is fundamental unit of life, the next is tissues, and the third one is improvement in food resources, right? Same for everyone, isn't
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
But there is also diversity in living organisms.
Diversity in living organism, that is there for you all?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, like see, I understand that
It's
those
there for me.
chapters. Say, sir, what were you saying?
That says for me the diversity in living organisms.
6 chapters.
Yes.
Oh, see, even though like they are mentioned in your books, but I think only 3 chapters come in your final exams, right? Only the 3 that I mentioned: fundamental unit of life, tissues, and improvement in food resources, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the characteristics. So the first characteristic is that the cells have lost the power of division. That is, they do not divide. They do not divide at all, no matter what the case is. Now, the second thing is that they have a definite form and size. Now, the third point of the characteristic is that they carry out a specific function. They carry out a specific function. Now, why do they carry out a specific function, students? What may be the reason?
For protection.
No, that is like they carry out one specific, like every single permanent tissue, they have their own functions to perform. Why?
Because they don't divide.
Because they don't divide, because they have gotten differentiated, right? They got differentiated. So as they are fully differentiated, remember, and always remember what differentiation means. So they are fully differentiated. That is why they carry out a specific function, meaning each of them have their own functions divided to them. Now they may be living or dead. Okay, they can be living also, they can be dead also. Mostly they are dead. Now talking about they have a thick wall or a thick cell wall. Just like most of the points of the permanent tissue will be opposite to the meristematic tissue. Just like one of you said that meristematic tissues had a thin wall, right? Thin cellulosic wall. Here the wall is cellulosic only, made up of cellulose, but it is thicker. Now, apart from that, they have large vacuoles. They have large vacuoles. Now, why do they have large vacuoles, students?
For storage.
Hmm?
Storage.
For storage, correct. Okay, now you people can note it down.
Can I turn off my video now?
Yes, all of you can switch on your video while, like switch off your video while you're writing. All of you. Write comfortably.
Slow down.
Everyone's done?
Yes, miss.
Oh, man. No, man.
Everyone's done?
Yes, miss.
No, no.
Everyone's done?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So now talking about the first type of this permanent tissue, we have simple permanent tissue. We have simple permanent tissue. Now, as I told you in the previous class, previously in this class only, that simple permanent tissues are those tissues that are made up of just one kind of cell. Meaning, for example, as I told you that one tissue is a group of cells, right? When multiple cells come together, they form the tissue. Now, this drawing that you're seeing right here, and I'll draw another one. Do you see a difference in between them, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone
ma'am.
can find the difference. It is made up of just circles and it has variety of shapes in it. This is exactly the case of simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissues are this. This is complex permanent tissue. Now, simple permanent tissues are those tissues that are made up of only one type of cell. They just have one kind of cell. They can have 100 cells in it, but all of those cells will be similar. So we'll write, these are the kinds of tissues. These are the kind of tissues that are made up of only one type of cells. All the cells which are present in the simple permanent tissue, they are of one similar type, like their type is common. Okay, and this is like a fixed thing about them. Now, apart from that, another thing to remember from these simple permanent tissue is that all of these cells that are making up this tissue, all of those cells, they have the similar function or the set of functions to perform. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay. Now, furthermore, this simple permanent tissue can be divided into parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, the three kinds of simple permanent tissue, meaning all of them are made up of only one type of cells. Now, the first one, like we'll talk about the types of simple permanent tissue. So, the first one that we have is parenchyma. Now, remember that parenchyma is the kind of tissue that is mostly living tissue that is present here, and it is the, you can say, basic tissue of the plant's body. It gives a lot of basic material to form the plant's body. Whereas talking about the collenchyma, so these are the ones that have a little bit of hardening. Slowly, like from parenchyma to sclerenchyma, you would find one thing is that slowly, they move towards being dead in nature. Parenchyma is living, collenchyma is also living, but sclerenchyma slowly starts getting hardened. Now, in the parenchyma, what we are going to see is that these are the kind of tissues. It is the most simple one and it has very little specialization, meaning it is not specialized a lot. It is very, you can say, concise, and it has little bit functions to perform when we talk about the parenchyma. The most important function that parenchyma is there to perform is storage. Storage of food is one of the biggest function that the parenchyma performs. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts up until now?
Ma'am, it
No,
also
ma'am.
photosynthesis.
Yes. Now, parenchyma further is modified in a lot of ways. Some parenchyma are there that have chlorophyll present in them. Some parenchyma are there that have air spaces present in them. So on the basis of that, they can be a variety of types like aerenchyma, chlorenchyma. So their modifications are there. But initially, so we can say that it is the most primitive. It is the most primitive and fundamental. It is the most primitive and most fundamental tissues. Now, what does that mean? It means that it is the most common tissue in plant. It is the most common tissue in plants. Okay, it is the most with relatively little specialization. With relatively little specialization, meaning it doesn't have like lot big functions to perform. So it has relatively little specialization. Any doubts up until now?
No.
All right. First, you people note it down.
Can you scroll down?
Everyone's done?
No.
Everyone's done?
Yes.
All right. Okay, students. Do you have any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
Anything you want to ask?
No.
All right. Okay, so we'll keep it till here only for today's class. And remember one thing, the next class. Whenever we have the next class, before that, up until now, you will like every single student will prepare. Why? Because I will take sort of like an oral test. Okay. And this will not be an open question as to whoever knows can answer. I will pick the names and I'll ask the particular student that question. So you prepare so well that no matter what question ma'am asks, we'll answer it.